Right. So how would I work out how much income tax she pays each year? What will I do?
First 35,300 multiplied by 20.
Good. So her wage tax and food rate, the lower the lower amount is taxed at the lower rate, so 35,300 taxed 20%. But all her 40,000 needs to be taxed. So how would you work out what's taxed at 40%?
35,300 take away from
Good. 35,300 minus those, and what do you get there now? 4,700. 4,700 by 40%. So you work out both of those. Not that I'd say too many will watch, at least you might get one or two. $18.80. Now what will you do with those two percentages then? Or those two amounts? Add them up. So this is known as my gross tax, 706, 8940. And then do you know what you do with your tax credits?
take it away.
Take away your tax credits, good. Gross tax minus my tax credits of 1650. It's 7290. That's my net tax of my tax paid. Doesn't ask you for her net income. If it did, just take that away from your 40,000. Emer then pays health insurance, which costs her 1,500 net. So that's it without paying or after paying your tax and all. Find her annual income after paying the income tax, which is up here, and after paying her health insurance. What am I going to do there? How much she makes after paying the income tax?
Add them to take it away from her salary.
Perfect. Add those two, your 7390 and your 1,500. That's her deductions, if you want to say. And take it away from your 40,000, your fat income, what you had at the very start. Alternatively, just take them away individually, see what you get. What's that? 31,210. Yeah, 31,210. That's the one has her net income, her take home pay, or whatever. Next thing. Emer's planning to change jobs, and she's offered a job by Company B with a gross wage of 38,000. Again, that's her fat wage, whatever she was offered at the start. So, what else have we got? And a bonus of 1,500 tax free. She'll get that at the end of the year. Be paid by the company which she would use to pay her health insurance. That's the health insurance come on. The tax rates and tax credits will remain the same. Find how much Emer's net income will increase as she accepts Company B. So Company B is better off. So what am I going to have to do here? Right, you're doing the same processes over on the left hand side. So my 35,300 by 20%. That worked out 7,060. And then how would you work out what gets taxed at 40%?
38,000, 35.
Good. 38,000 minus 35,300. What's that? 2,700. 40%. 1,080. Add those two up. 041 8140. Once again, that's our gross tax. it says your tax credits would remain the same. What am I going to do with my tax credits?
And they're taken away.
Take them away, like a little voucher you get. What was it, 1650? 6490. So that's her net tax or tax paid. And then to work out what her take home pay was, what would you do with that then?
Take away the tax from her salary.
Good. Take away the tax from her salary there, 38,000 minus 6490. 31510. So take home pay.
Do you know if they add on once too?
Well, it says then you could add on the 1,500, but it says she's using that to pay her health insurance. It says there, and her health insurance you see over there was 1,500. You know, so it's essentially cancelled each other out. And technically, it says how much more Emer's net income would be. How do you work out how much more it would be? So company A, she'll have take them away. Yeah. Company B, she's getting 31510. Company A, she's getting 31210. Take those two away, you get €300 extra. Right. Moving on. Complex numbers. Always think full marks should be got here, near enough for the way. Complex numbers, Z1 is 2 plus I. What number is before that I? We're looking for a number in front of the I.
Plus.
I plus, and what number would it be?
1.
1. Good. That's the same as 2 plus 1 I in terms of flatness. I squared is minus 1. That'll be useful when I'm doing my multiplying. Z2 is equal to 2 Z1. Find the value of Z2 and plot and label it on the diagram. So, go on, do that one. Just work out your answer. Good. So you sub in for your Z1. Oh, jeez. Mistake this. 2 plus I. And times it. 2's are 4 plus 2I. It does say label it. So 4 plus 2I. That's called Z2. Next one, Z1 is the complex conjugate. Remember, it's got the cap. Obviously means something different. Write down Z1 cap, or the conjugate of it. How do you work out the conjugate? What do we have to do to work out the conjugate?
Change the sign.
Change the sign of what?
The height.
Change the sign of the imaginary bit. So Z1 was 2 plus I. So Z1 conjugate is 2 minus I. And it says plot and label it's 2 minus I down there. Generally, they'll ask you two things. They'll ask you modulus and they'll ask you division. Now here, they don't ask me division, but they do ask me modulus. That's when two straight down lines meet. Could use the distance formula if I need it, between 0, 0 and 2 or 4, 2. And work it out. Or there's a little formula you could use for the modulus. Whatever it was. Only two things you need to remember in this.
A and B.
Aye, the square root of a squared plus b squared. Now to get your attempt marks, how would I get my attempt marks there? I think everyone should get it. What would it be horsing for Z2?
4 plus 2.
Right, so it's your modulus, 4 plus 2a. Work it out, square root of a squared plus b squared, the square root of real squared plus imaginary squared, whatever you like. Square them, you add them. Tidy that up. 4 squared plus 2 squared. Throw it in your calculator. Work it out 64 square root of 20. Which is 2 root 5. Spit out at you. That was this bit on the left-hand side, the modulus is there too. The right-hand side, before I find the modulus, what I need to do, first of all, before I find the modulus, what do I need to do? In this right-hand side, before I find the modulus, what do I need to do? Well, if I was subbing in, what would I sub in for Z1? 2 plus 1, yeah. Then if it's plus its conjugate, which is 2 minus 8. Now before I find the modulus there, because it's more than just 2 terms for me, maybe I tidy it up. 2 and 2 gives you 4. And what's 1a minus 1a? Nothing. Now technically what the modulus means, I was plotting that in the diagram. There's 4 plus 0a. What it means is how far it is from the origin. So how far is 4 from the origin? 4. Now, you can work it out. You'll see that. It's the square root of, the square root of a squared plus b squared. There's just no b in that. 4 squared plus 0 squared. Squared is 16, which is 4. So are they equal? Investigate. Are they equal? That's what it's asking you. No. 3b dots mean there. So like the modulus of Z2 means how far Z2 is from the origin. That's what your modulus means. So your hypotenuse in a right angle triangle must be 2 root 5. And your final bit in complex numbers, show that that's a solution to the equation. 2 ways you can really do this. The easiest way to do it, to show that something is an answer in it, or a solution. What could you do? What might you do in the day of your exam there? Like if I was doing a quadratic, and I had x squared plus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0, and I wanted to see is x equal to minus 3 a solution. How could I check if x equals to minus 3 is a solution? You could do your ABC. Yeah. If you do your minus b formula in this, it'll come out math error. You'll end up you'll have to work it out individually. You could also sub it in. If it's a solution, replace your x with your minus 3. So you have 9 minus 21 plus 12 is equal to 0. And it works out 0 is equal to 0. So it is a solution. If 5 is equal to 0, it's not a solution. So if you want to test if something is a solution, just sub it in. So instead, don't be put off that it says Z1 and this is Z. You know, how could I test if that is a solution? What am I going to replace my Z with? What's going to sub in for my Z?
2 plus a.
2 plus a, good. So instead of saying Z squared, I've got 2 plus a squared minus 4 times 2 plus a plus 5 equals 0. What's the next thing you're going to do from here? Most of the brackets. Edit your bracket twice, yeah. Tidy up you go there, so you can just get. And when you get a squared, what would you parse in? You can tell you up the very top. I've got a circle around it there. Get a squared, it's the same as minus. See, is that a solution? Or it says show that as a solution, sorry.
See for a squared, now that's minus 1.
Minus 1, yeah. And that's what I told you there at the top. should hopefully all get zeros equal to 0. Get 0, I'll cancel out. So anything, if to test something that's a solution, force it in. I like doing this, I like this paper because this came up early on. So the function is defined as minus x cubed, blah, blah, blah. Complete the table below. Now, how are you going to draw that table? What do we use? Good, the mode 3 in your calculator. Out of interest, what shape's an x cubed? You just know. Or a minus x cubed. You know what shape we're going to be getting? It's not an x cubed, like Sarah being negative or Sam being negative, minus x cubed. And then if it's a plus x cubed, it'll just be the opposite of that. Now, there might be some version of that. And you use your x squared, so on. So mode 3 in your calculator. Alternatively, sub in each of the values. Mode 3. What are you going to start at in your values? Okay, well, what would we start at in our values now? Minus 1. Let's go. I'll have in. See what results you get. And that's what are we adding at there? Steps of 1. And we get an answer for minus 1.
2.
2, good. We know we're right because there's 3 and 10. And to get your calculator back to normal, mode and 1. Menu and 1. So then just plot your points. What is f of x? Another way of saying y. Yeah. Your x and your y. Minus 1, 2. Join up nice, smooth curve. We do generally have our nice S shape there. We get minus 2 in our x. How do I get it? That's what we get instead. Then, use your graph to estimate the 2 roots. Now, even if you didn't know, you seen the thing 2, and you're using the graph, what do you think that 2's telling you? I think you work out the roots. So the roots are. Where the roots be? Have a guess. Where is your 2 answers of that graph there? 2 roots. So roots are where it cuts the axis. So there's my 2 roots. There and there. So the roots are always where it comes through your x-axis. They're the solutions, say if it was a quadratic, do your minus b. Now there should be 3 solutions for an x cubed. I'd say if we continue it on down there, it would hit us. What are we thinking? What values of x are we getting from our roots? What this first one be here? Roughly.
Minus 0.8.
Minus 0.8, perfect. Minus 0.8. And the one over here, look for your things, x equals 0.7 or so. Something like that. They'll give you a range. And then find the value of x, which f double dash x is equal to 0. So that tells you it's the second derivative. Now f of x was minus x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 2. You know how to do this? How to find the first derivative? Or another way of saying it, dy dx equal to 0. I'll stick it at my own point, but how do I dip it? What does a minus x cubed become? So multiply down by the power, reduce the power by 1. What's that going to become? when you dip it once, or dy dx, multiply down by the power, minus 3x, and reduce the power by 1. Minus 3x squared. Now do the same thing here. Multiply down by the power. So what's 2 times 4? 8x. 8x, 3x to the power of 1, so just the power by 1. Now that x is the same as 1x. What does 1x become? 1. Good. And what happens with minus 2? Just goes away, yeah. So if they ask you for the minimum or the maximum turning point, you let that equal to 0. Here they've asked me for the second derivative. Just means do it twice. So you diff the diff. So the same thing now, minus 3x squared. Multiply down by the power, reduce the power by 1. So what's minus 3x squared becoming? Minus 6x, good. 8x is becoming 8. And what happens to the 1? Disappears. Good. So multiplying down by the power, reducing the power by 1. Right, keep it algebra. We'll get all these short questions on like 4, 5, and 6. Solve for x. Now, it's been a brave while since you've seen this. Start of 5th year at sea. You know how you solve them equations? Like at the end we want to say x is equal to something. At the very end we want to say x is equal to so much. So the first thing we have there is fractions. How do you get rid of the fractions? What do we put around each of the fractions? Brackets, good. Big dirty brackets. Big dirty brackets around each. I can't even see that, but there. Now what goes outside each of those brackets? Use your memory. The bottom bit, yeah, you can put the bottom bit of each fraction, your 5, 2, and 10. When they're numbers, you can also work out the lowest common denominator, or lowest common multiple. What's your lowest common multiple of 5, 2, and 10? Oh, you're thinking factors. But as Zoe says there, you could just put 5, 2, and 10 outside each. Is that what you're saying, Zoe? Yeah, and then cross off what they had. Alternatively, I would put 10 outside each. There, numbers. This approach works there with when there's algebra in the bottom. And then cross off what they have. So the 5 with the 5, 2 with the 2, 10 with the 10. It's going to work out the same. It's just going to be a scale bigger than if we just pick 10. So what have we got? 2 times 10 is 20 times 3x plus 1 plus, here's 5 times 50 is x minus 2. 5 2s are 10 times 47. These don't work out big. They have put in their 10, would have just been a wee. That's something. What would you do from here then? Multiply it out. Good. Numbers one side, letters the other. That's good. Getting that straight? Aye. That was right. Right. Next one. Solve the simultaneous equation. This is the more awkward form of your simultaneous equation. It's not just multiplying the top line by something and the bottom line by something. Remember how you do this simultaneous equation? It is. Work with the simpler one. Like technically that's a line, that's a circle. You're going to find out where they meet. So you work with a simpler one, you get one of the letters on its own. What's the simpler one, the top or the bottom? Oh, one letter might you get on its own? X, good. So you get the X on, so we'll move that across. So X equals minus 13 plus 5y. Now into that second equation, instead of having x squared plus y squared is equal to 13, what can I replace the x with?
X, minus 13.
Plus 5y, or 5y minus 13 if you wish. From here, what would you do? What does something squared mean?
Plus
Most of the brackets, yeah. I know that bracket twice. I tidy up. Ah, just go. And get that form, 26y squared minus 130y plus 156. All goes good. You still get that far. What would you use?
ABC.
A, B, C, good. I have to affect all room in this now, but A is 26, B is minus 130, C is 156. Fire that into your formula. Tell me your answers, you can fill in there. Well, 3 and 2.
3 to 1.
And what is it? X or Y, that answer? Well, it'll be Y because it's Y squared. So Y is equal to 3. Your other answer 2? No?
Yeah.
I say I've left myself next to no room. Technically, is that us done? No, what are you going to do with those?
What?
Sub Y at the back and fill in both of them individually. So X is equal to minus 13 plus 5Y. That's 5 times Y, which is